Pregnant women may be overdiagnosed and overtreated for thyroid problems. Canadian researchers say guidelines are needed to help doctors better decide whether it's necessary for pregnant patients to have thyroid-stimulating hormone testing. Having individual and family-based plans for physical activity and diet could improve children's cholesterol. A study in the European Journal of Nutrition finds families who took part in the plan had kids with lower LDL, or so-called bad cholesterol, during a 2-year follow-up. During the pandemic, we've heard a lot about antibody testing. They're tests that are supposed to determine whether you've had a COVID-19 infection in the past. However, new guidance from the CDC says those tests aren't always reliable. Mandy Gaither explains why.
Antibody tests to determine if a person has had a past infection of COVID-19 may be wrong up to half of the time, the CDC now says.
I don't think that we should be making any decisions using those antibody tests.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta says a lot of the antibody tests initially put out weren't good. The FDA has since put out a policy requiring antibody test makers to submit emergency authorization requests along with proof the tests work.
False positive is the worst kind of result, right? Because then you think, well, I've got the antibodies, I'm good to go. You're not, and so the tests aren't good enough right now.
The CDC says health officials or healthcare providers using antibody tests need to use the most accurate tests they can find and might need to test people twice.
Also, we still don't know the exact meaning of what the antibodies are going to provide in terms of how long people would be protected as a result of having these antibodies, how strong that protection would be. It's likely they're going to have some protection, but we just don't know the extent of it yet.
Tests give more accurate results if the disease being tested for is common in the population. Even if an infection has only affected a small percentage of people being tested, even the smallest margin of error in a test will be magnified. Stick around. Hutch Johnson is back with an update on your Tuesday weather planner.